Hello, guys. We're back again. Guess who's back?
Back
Back again.
again.
The gals are back. Tell
Tell a
your friend.
friend. I was gonna say Shady's back.
What?
That's what Eminem said. Guess
Eminem
who's
definitely
back?
said something.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's
Anyway,
back? Guess who's back? Hi
anyway.
again. We are Geeky Gals. I'm Geeky Gal number one.
And I'm gal number 2.
And today we wanted to come to you because we have nothing else to do, but we just want to do a review on the latest episode of The Walking Dead, episode 12, season 5, called Remember. Now, this was such a great episode. It's another good episode of The Walking Dead. The second half has been really good, but this entire season I've enjoyed it a lot. From the beginning to even the Beth storyline, which I really didn't care for Beth, but even her storyline, I got interested because I knew she was gonna die, to coming back from the mid-season finale, and I don't know, they just want to kill Tyrese, and then now we're at Alexandria. I'm just so, and we only have 4 episodes left. I'm so excited. So what did you think about this episode?
It was really good. I like character development and like kind of slow paced episodes. Like I enjoy action as well, but I like character development a little bit more.
It's funny because I like that too, because when we watch, it's kind of OT, but when I watch Mad Men, I know some people always complain Mad Men is boring and nothing happens throughout the series.
It's just certain
But
shows
it's
that are
just
more about character development.
yeah, it's
Dialogue, yeah.
dialogue heavy.
Why are you laughing?
It's dialogue heavy. So I like stuff like that. Everything doesn't have to have explosions and naked boobs flying everywhere.
And Michael Bay,
Yeah, like
and lens
I can
flares.
and I can deal without all of that, but I really just love the episodes where we get to, I guess, talk a lot. So you thought it was a great episode. I thought it was a great episode. What would you give it out of a 10?
I would get like 8.9967.
Now you sound like them IMDb people. I would give it a 9. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought it felt different. It was a fresh beginning because according to some people, not me, I have never read the comics, but stuff about to go down. So I cannot wait to watch this BS unfold. Sunday nights, 9/8 Central on AMC.
Who says 9/8 Central?
They always say that in the
I know, but like,
announcement.
who in real life says that? Everyone says say
Whatever.
9.
Whatever.
Gosh.
Okay, so the episode, this podcast might be like a little longer because there's so much things that happen, and there were some Easter eggs in this episode too.
Easter is right around the corner, too.
Yeah. So the episode begins with we left off from last week. Oh, sorry if you hear noise in the background. Our neighbors are outside making noise again.
Partying.
Yeah, they're partying, and people are deciding to have loud cars, and it's making a lot of noise. So,
Yep.
so the episode begins when we left off from last episode, where everybody is going into Alexandria, and it was so weird because Carl, he saw this girl as he was entering in to Alexandria, and this girl,
She was in like an old abandoned cottage or something.
but wasn't she on the outside?
I thought she was. I thought she was in the window, and then when
No, she was in the window outside in the abandoned thingy.
That's what I meant.
So I was just like, who is that? And then Michonne walks by and then she disappears. So I was just like, I don't know who that girl was, but knowing The Walking Dead, she ain't going nowhere. So as the group, as they were going in, they heard like a rattling noise. And I thought this was the funny part that kicked off this episode. Because as they heard the rattling noise, it was a possum. But as they heard the noise, all of them pointed their guns that way. They were just ready to shoot the ground or whatever that was. And Daryl shot it.
And of course, he's carrying it around.
And then he's like, I brought dinner. I'm like, Daryl is just, you cannot take the hood rat out of Daryl. Like, Daryl is a backwoods hillbilly hood rat. So I thought that was the first funny moment, and that kind of kicked off this episode. So when they got into the gate, they were immediately asked to give over their weapons. And we've all seen how that's worked the past two times. When they got to Terminus, they were like, oh, you got to give up your weapons. And when they got to Woodbury, they were like, oh, you got to give up your weapons. And anytime somebody's telling me to give up my weapons in a zombie apocalypse, I'm not going to do it. So Rick was like, hold on, we don't even know if we're going to stay here. So Aaron...
That's true.
Yeah.
And then, like, wait, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, Aaron told them what they can speak to Deanna, and then Abraham was like, oh, who's Deanna? The way he said it was so funny.
And then I want to talk about the scene where they actually put their weapons down in a cart, and then Carol has...
We're going to get to that. We're going in order.
So rude.
No, you're rude.
So rude.
I told you this is in order. I actually took notes this time because it's very dense.
Yeah, it's like 4 pages worth.
It's only 2 papers.
Back and front.
Front and back.
Doesn't matter.
So Rick tells Sasha, to shoot the zombie, and Sasha just turned around like she's like, I got this. He didn't tell her what to do. He's just like, oh, Sasha. And then she's like, beep. And then the music starts playing. And I knew this was going to be a great episode when the music started to play.
Slowly, like it's slowly.
Yeah, introduction. Because they hadn't done that in a while. Like the first episode of this season, it just cut and the music started. But that's just something, that's a little nitpick I always notice with this show. And I've noticed it in earlier seasons. Like that's how they always used to begin their episodes. So Rick, he meets Deanna Monroe. Now, the people that have read the comics, they told me that it was a man, Douglas Monroe. So they changed it to a woman. And I know some people have a problem with this, but I honestly don't have a problem because I like to see women in charge. I like to see women who have a say in this world. And that's not really unrealistic because we do have senators who are women. We have congressmen who are women. And hopefully one day we get a woman that's president. So what did you think about them changing?
I didn't really mind.
Yeah, we're not comic book readers, so it's kind of like...
Didn't really matter.
Yeah, because, like I said, it's nice to see women in charge. Like, we've seen Gareth, a man, in charge.
The governor.
The governor, a man in charge. We gotta have some women in here. Like, we gotta have some...
As leaders.
Yeah. And I know people are like, oh, this feminism BS. Whatever. I liked it. I didn't care. So I find her very creepy. Like, what do you think about Deanna?
Our mom actually was watching the episode. She's like, I don't like that lady. I don't like that lady. I don't like that lady. She just kept saying that she didn't like her and everything. And we're like, shh, be quiet. And then we watched the episode back and we're like, I don't like that lady.
But do you think she's up to something, or do you think that she's...
At first, I just got a sincere vibe from her. I didn't get anything wrong. But then it's quite creepy.
Like the whole concept. She wants to record them. And she's like, let me record you. Do you mind? And Rick is like, what? And I'm like, she could be a little freak. How much you want to bet she records her and her husband having sex to evaluate him? She's like, we're all about transparency here. I'm like, yeah, she's a freak. You'll never know it. Because she doesn't come off as that.
But he just said just scarred me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And she's really short. She's short. Because Rick is not even 6 feet. I don't think she's... So she's probably like 3 feet something.
3 feet something, yes.
Yeah. 5 foot something. So Deanna, her MO is to record people. And it's something I think what went back to last episode when Sasha was like, oh, he wants us to audition. And I was like, oh, auditioning is very accurate because that's what they want them to do, because she's videotaping them and she's trying to read them, and then she goes to tell them about blah blah blah. She's really good at reading people, and if she wasn't a congresswoman and hadn't got elected to her second term, she was gonna be a professional poker dealer. I'm just like,
professional what?
Poker dealer. I'm like, girl, Really? I don't know about professional poker dealers. Maybe they make a lot of money, but whatever.
In
So
Vegas.
we learn that she's from Ohio,
The
and
potato state.
yeah, and we learn that Alexandria was a planned community. So that explains why all of those houses and stuff was there. Almost kind of like they were expecting.
Government conspiracy
Yeah,
people. The
like
government released it.
yeah, the
Don't trust
government.
the government.
Hey,
Wake up, America.
I would not be surprised if the Walking Dead comic ends and we find out that it was a virus released from the government. Like, we're not 9/11 truthers. At least I'm not. But hey, conspiracy theories, they're never not that bad to talk about. So Deanna also reveals that she exiled 3 men. And I'm just thinking to myself, 3 men? God, I hope they don't come back to Alexandria and mess stuff up.
You know they're probably.
But I got a
going
feeling
to.
that they're gonna come back, and I got a feeling that stupid girl, Enid, that's her name.
She was quite rude. I found her to be quite standoffish.
That's an ugly name. I have a feeling that she has something to do with those exile men. I don't trust that girl. I really don't. So yeah. So here goes the scene that I thought was really funny. This is the scene you were talking about. Go ahead.
Well, they get this cart that they have to put their weapons on, and everybody's putting their weapons down reluctantly, of course. And then Carol has like this big machine gun that she's trying, like she's struggling when she's like just smiling. She's just smiling, and she's like, she just like gives this little smile, and she puts it on her. Everybody's just like staring at her.
It was so funny.
And also the part where she was being recorded, and she was like, I'm a people person.
Really? I was like, Carol is acting really
nice.
Weird this episode. I was like, what is going on?
She's just like smiling, like nothing's wrong.
I was just like, is she okay? And then as the episode went on, I realized that she has this plan. She's playing like she's weak. And that's why she wants to be out in the community, because that's where they all like to gossip, and she's trying to scope the place out. So I was like, ooh, that's smart. Like, Carol's a bad bitch. Like, it ain't even no debate anymore. Carol is a bad bitch. So they get to their houses, and Aaron is like, you guys can choose from these houses. And I'm like, wow, these houses look amazing.
Yeah, they
like,
look pretty nice.
Not even Section 8 houses look that good. And I was pissed off because I'm like, okay, they're in a zombie apocalypse and we're not, and they have a better house than us.
They do.
That is, when you think about it, that is really sad. Like, I'm just offended. AMC, I'm really offended. I'm offended by Alexandria.
But it also gives them like a sense of comfort, and I feel like it's false security.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen, and you're letting the people be weak, and you know.
We're gonna get to that. So Rick finally takes a shower, and I was on Twitter when this happened. It was so funny because they were like, is he gonna shave? Is he gonna shave? Is he gonna shave? But first, when they saw all that dirt coming off of him, they was like, oh my god, like, he is so freaking dirty. And I said, I can't remember when the last time the group showered. Let's not even talk about Daryl. But when was the last time they showered?
I don't know.
Was it the prison?
Was it the prison?
Because I remember they had showers in the prison.
Where? Okay, they went from the prison to where?
They were just on the road.
I don't think they showered. I really don't think they showered.
No, they went to the prison, from the prison to Terminus.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because at Terminus, we all know what happened.
Yeah. But yeah, they haven't showered in a long time. And I just think about the women, and it's like, okay, you have your period, and you know, just your private parts, and it's just like, you're just a mess. I could never. It'd be hard.
You wouldn't survive the zombie apocalypse.
I would. I know you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised the people that survive. So I was gonna say, wow. So Rick, I was gonna say Fitz. So Rick finally showers. And all the thirsty girls on Instagram, like, Rick is so hot. Oh my god, he looks like from season
He looks
one.
like a clutterbuck.
So I was
I just
like,
had to
oh
go
my
there.
god, like he really hasn't really aged that much. Like this show
The
started 5
beard
years ago.
ages him.
It really does. It makes him look rough. And I think I saw an interview with Andrew Lincoln, and he was like, his wife doesn't really like his beard too much. But I was just like, whatever. Like, I think the best look that he has is in between. Not too much beard, but not, directly clean shaven. Like, he can have like a little stubble.
So like going from farm to prison.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. That look. Yeah. When he was at the prison. I think that's how he looks.
Prison
the best.
Break. Always reminded me of Prison Break.
So, I thought this scene was very important, very symbolic, because he was finally out with the old and with the new. He took a shower, he washed away his dirt, Garrett smell, from chopping them up. So,
I bet baby Judith's skin is still soft.
yeah, she looked like she still smells like honey and baby wipes. But he looked like Rick or the actor, he resembles two people to me. Viggo Mortensen, and there is a character on Scandal called Fitz, and he plays the president. Like, he looks more like Viggo Mortensen, though.
Not really.
You don't think so?
Not Aragorn.
So, AMC, they wanted to reward, I guess, the females and the gay people that watched the show. They just want to reward everybody. So they were just like, we're going to show Rick, he's going to be shirtless when he opens up the door. He's going to have his hair long and his face. So this woman named Jessie, she walks up to his house. Blah, blah, blah. I was at the pantry and they told me to do this. Hi. And I'm like, immediately I recognized the actress. She was on American Horror Story. And she played a maid in the first season.
Played a maid in the first season, which her character actually loved.
Yeah, and she had red hair during that season. So I think she looked better with the red hair than the blonde. Like, I just think she stands out more. Because her skin is pale. Like, she just looks like she could be a born natural redhead.
A born natural redhead.
A natural born redhead.
It's
the same thing.
Nope.
Freaking grammar Nazi. So she knocks on the door and she's just like, I can give you a haircut. I used to be a stylist. And Rick was like, you don't know me. You don't know me. And she was like, don't worry, I can take care of myself. I was just like, girl, you don't know this guy. Like, why are you... Don't be fooled by that face. That face has bitten into necks. That face has chopped off somebody's head, chopped them up. Like, that guy killed his best friend, but he needed to. But we're not going to get into that. But I just found that scene so funny. So she was like, oh, she used to do 12 other things. I'm like, okay. Is one of those things... Let me just be quiet because I was about to say something really offensive.
Of course you were.
So, as she's cutting his hair, I noticed that she had an owl tattoo. Did you notice that on her arm?
I didn't notice
when
the
she
tattoo.
handed him the mirror, they specifically zoomed in. Well, they didn't zoom in, but they showed that she had an owl on her arm. And I'm just like, why does she have an owl on her arm? And
she can turn her head 360, that's fine.
Okay. But I didn't think about it, but then I was like, when Rick was looking for Carl and Judith, and he ran into a statue that she was building, and she said it was an owl. So I'm like, what is AMC doing? Like, what are they trying to tell us? What is this symbolism? I heard something about owls or like sneaky mofos. I don't know. I've only seen an owl like 3 times in my life, so
I've never seen one.
I've seen one.
I've heard one.
You've heard it, but you've never seen it.
It was dark.
So I don't know what that means. If you guys know what that means, anybody knows, tell us, because...
Aren't owls very, like, watchful?
Yeah. So maybe she's watching, or maybe they're just giving a sign that somebody is watching Rick in the group. I don't know.
Or maybe she was the one watching Rick in the group.
Mm-hmm. How sneaky sound. But we already know. Okay, this is a spoiler.
Why are you spoiling it?
Well, I'm telling you. Well, people sensed this when she came to the door. In the comics, her and Rick get together. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So Rashone shippers. I'm sorry. First of all, I don't want Rick with Rashone. Yeah, I said it. I don't want him.
What's the next scene that happens?
I don't want him with her, but I'll explain that later. So it's time for Daryl's interview, and this dude still has not showered, and he still has the possum on, I think, on a belt or something, or in his hand. He's just pacing around the room, and I'm just like, I would burn my sofa before I let Daryl sit on my sofa. Like, I can't do that. So the next scene, Michonne, they're brushing their teeth, and she talks about how she brushed her teeth 20 times.
20 minutes.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes. It's okay for you to jump in. So she brushed her teeth for 20 minutes straight. And so she looks at Rick and she's like, "Oh my God, I've never seen your face like that." And then Deanna knocks on the door and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was under there." I'm just like, are they serious? Like, they've never seen a man before? Like, is this Mad Men where all one guy or two or three looks good? Or two, I should say. Two guys look good if the other one shower. And the rest are just plain. Like, it's just so funny to me. Like, everybody was just in awe of Rick and his clean-shaven English skin face.
English skin face.
So Rick is still paranoid because,
of course, he has good reason to.
Yeah, like, he's paranoid because Carl and Judith, they're walking down the street and you see other residents, somebody's walking a dog, and he doesn't.
It just seems so normal.
Yeah, and listen, Alexandria seems really creepy to me. Like, it's just too peaceful and too quiet, and those people, they are very weak. So I'm trying to figure out, how did they last this long? I think it's been like 2 years since the apocalypse. How did they last this long? So he's walking, somebody's walking a dog, and Judith and Carl, they disappear. And he's running, and he runs into Jesse again. What a coincidence. And he was like, "I can't find them. Where are they? Where are they?" And she was like, "Oh, they're over there. Those people, that's houses that they were at. They haven't seen a baby in a long time." Can you get involved? So they were playing with Judith, and they were looking at Carl, and it was just like, "Oh, okay." And then Rick was like, "Oh, I'm sorry I messed up your thing." And she was like, "It's an owl." I'm just like, really? I thought maybe she knows Drake, because Drake has that owl sign, the OVO.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So maybe she's a Drake fan. Maybe she likes rap music.
What is Drake doing during the apocalypse?
He's probably dead. So, oh my God. So it's so.
Remember the scene where, like, he met her husband?
We're gonna talk about that. You're just jumping
Of course,
ahead.
going in.
You haven't been talking
order.
much lately, but I would like you to jump in. So here's another scene where Carl, he meets the other kids. And the two boys, they were really welcoming and comforting. But then you meet this girl called Enid. And she has a stank attitude. She has a stank
It's quite
face.
Understandable, though, if you think about it. She just got to Alexandria.
She's been there for 8 months.
We don't know what she's been through.
Who cares? It's all about manners. It's not about being rude. She don't have to be rude. Carl ain't gonna do
She doesn't have to be nice.
Carl ain't gonna do nothing to her.
That's true.
What is Carl gonna do? Shoot her? So they're like, "Hey, you want to go see not see, but you want to go play some video games?"
Ooh, Grand Theft Auto.
Blah blah blah.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, and he was like, "Okay, we'll see. We'll play some video games." And she just has this stank face. So she had a comic book, and this was another Easter egg. On that comic book, it said wolf fight. Now, does that mean I've never read the
Two
comics?
wolves are gonna fight, I guess.
No, I think that's referring to the outside people, and I think that the people that she exiled are probably part of their group, and they're gonna come back and they're gonna attack Alexandria. I'm telling you, and I think she's working with them.
Because she keeps disappearing.
Yeah, she keeps disappearing, and it's like, why do you keep going outside the gates? Like you.
And of course, Coral, was just following her, basically being nosy as always.
Yeah. So they were like, oh, when she first got here, she didn't say anything for 3 weeks, and to me, that was an alarm right there. I just don't trust that girl at all. So here's another scene where Rick, he goes on a walk, and it's late at night, and this is when we meet Jesse's husband,
whose face is completely covered. Really, he's smoking a cigarette or something.
He's like, "Welcome to Alexandria," and I'm just like, he was like, "Oh, my wife cut your hair," and
Rick was like, cool.
You already know it's gonna be some trouble. You already know this guy's gonna be a problem. I know something from the comics that people have told me, but I'm not gonna say it.
Then what's the point of mentioning it?
Because I just want people to know that I'm informed. I want to sound cool. I'm not a hipster. So
she conforms.
So you already know. I just thought that whole scene was very creepy. Like you don't.
There was tension.
There was tension. And
the guy's like, he's just leaning back, sizing up Rick, and Rick
I saw his
like,
face, and Rick looks better than him. Like, so
I didn't really see his face.
Yeah, it was. I rewatched the episode again, so it was just like, this guy is gonna be a problem. You already know it's gonna happen. And he was smoking a cigarette, which is, it's like, well, at least it's not Mad Men where everybody smokes every scene.
He's just killing himself faster.
So I was just like, you know what? This is setting up something. Something is going to be a problem.
He probably feels intimidated by Rick.
Or the fact that his wife ran over there to go cut another man's hair.
So she can cut another man's hair.
Would she like it if he go cut Carol's hair?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, who has more hair now? Carol or Rick? I think Rick still has more hair than Carol.
Really?
Yeah.
If I was in a zombie apocalypse, I would cut all my hair off. Because I don't have time.
I would have to do that too.
I don't have time.
Because, well, my hair, we already know how that is. But it's funny because the way they cut this scene, I thought it was a dream.
Why?
Because he's out there, and then after he says all of that blah, 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 Rick is in bed. They show he's in bed, and he wakes up. So I was like, was that a dream? Or
just the editing.
The editing. There go that editing again.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we were at the barn, I thought they were having a dream because the way they cut it, but whatever. So Carol's interview,
she's like, I'm a people person.
This was hilarious to me because Carol was like, she was talking about her husband, her nasty, horrible human being of a husband, Ed.
And I noticed what she said about him.
She was like, I miss that. Whatever. She was like, she missed him. But what did she say?
No, it was just like the fact that she said she misses him.
You know what? I honestly think, like I said, I think she was playing a game. But I honestly feel like
I don't think she misses him. She misses being, like, the norm, like, just having that normal lifestyle.
But I kind of feel like part of me feels like, obviously I think she loved him. That was her husband. Even though he was a nasty human being. Part of me kind of feels like she does miss Ed. Because she would not be able to say that so convincingly. Because we were like...
I still don't think she misses him.
Yeah. Because I remember when he slapped her that one episode.
Mm-hmm. I
was like, what? And then there was implications that he was molesting his daughter.
Sophia?
Yeah.
I don't think she misses him.
I was like, bitch, you what? Nasty human being. So she was like, I'm a people person. You can give me a job working with everybody. I was just like, you know what, Carol? You are so funny.
Flashback to when she killed Karen and David and dragged their bodies.
Yeah, she dragged them outside. She left a big blood trail. because they were sick. They could have been saved.
But I'm a people person.
You
Sure,
got anything?
Carol.
You got anything? What she said? Varsity something. I was just like, oh my god, so funny. So she comes out the door and she's dressed like the Brady Bunch / Martha Stewart, and I'm just like, what is this woman wearing? And her and Daryl have this epic dialogue where he's just like, she was like, "Did you take a shower?" And he was like, "Uh-huh," knowing damn well he didn't cop his dirty butt in that damn water yet. So she was like, "You need to take a shower. I'm gonna hold you down in your sleep." And he was like, "Uh-huh." And then he was looking at her and he was like, "You look ridiculous." Like he just said what we all said. Like she was dressed so weird. It was so funny. Like we were just laughing. Daryl's funny. Like he has these one-liners going all the way back to the first season.
First season when it was just starting, everyone was
first
ignorant.
season when Daryl's hair was shorter and lighter.
It was lighter.
I don't know why they had him dye his hair. So Glenn's interview, all we saw was Glenn was talking about, we gotta make this work.
Yeah.
And she was like, why? And then he was like, because we've been out there for too long. And I like
my boy Glenn in this episode.
Glenn Chain. Actually, it's Glenn Ree. That's his name. So I thought another interesting thing that Carol said was, she said the reason she survived as long is because people always underestimate her.
That's
and
true.
I thought about it and I was like, yes, because
remember when she like broke them out of Terminus, basically.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, she rescued the entire group from Terminus, from them ugly, dirty, stinking cannibals.
Got Rick reunite with Judith.
But you know what I forgot? I forgot that Rick, when she did that to Karen and who?
David.
Rick banished her.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah,
I was just thinking about that the other day, and I was like, oh my god, like Rick sent her away. He exiled Karen. Like that was kind of harsh.
Well, she did kill 2 people. I think that's harsher.
But they've killed people.
Yeah, but only because they were trying to kill them.
Well, they were trying to kill them with their disease. So,
gosh.
But they probably could have survived. But Carol just like, y'all coughing too much. I got.
She was like coughing too much. You gotta go. Sorry.
Gotta go. And Tyrese got so upset. I was like,
Tyrese's like, you killed my girlfriend.
Well, apples.
Oh yeah, the bad lip reading, which you guys should watch.
I think a lot of people have seen that.
Yeah.
So Carl sees that ugly ass girl again. I'm sorry. He sees that ugly girl again, and she's doing something. I'm just like, you know what? I've come to the conclusion that I don't trust this girl, and she's a freaking spy. So we meet Aiden and Nicholas. So Aiden, he was a former ROTC, and he thinks he's hot shit because he had ROTC training. That ain't even military, but whatever. So he thinks
isn't that in the school?
Yeah,
but you can do JROTC. Yeah, it's like JR. Junior.
Yeah, and then I think they have it in college too. So I'm looking at this little dry run, he calls it, Aiden, the douchebag, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, why is Noah on this run when Noah has a bum ankle?
Yeah, he's limping.
Why is he? He should be
resting
in the bed. Going to the doctor that Aaron said that they had to fix him up. Like, why is he on this so-called dry run? So he talking about, oh, we got some sweet biscuits. He calls the guns sweet biscuit. And then somebody over the internet asked me, do you Americans say guns or sweet biscuits? I said, no, we do not. I have never heard that before. So it was so
sweet
funny.
Biscuits.
Yeah, he said that. It was so funny because not Aaron. Okay. Oh my gosh. Aiden gave, what's her name? Tara. Glenn, he gave them their guns. He called them sweet biscuits. And they just looked at the guns like, these are worse than the guns y'all took from us. No wonder why you got people killed.
And they start talking about how there used to be like an old group, but then 2 people got killed.
I think it was 4.
4 people got killed?
It could have been 4. I think I could be wrong, but I remember he said something about 4 people got killed. And I'm just like, really? Really? So Carl, he starts to follow this girl and he loses her trail. And I'm just like, Carl, you are one of those people, since you were little on the show, you just can never stay in one spot. Like, you always have to go investigate stuff. I remember when he had to go get band-aids and stuff out the prison pantry.
But he wasn't supposed to.
And
he was supposed to go by himself. Lori was pissed.
She was mad at him. I'm just like, dude, why are you following this girl?
But isn't it funny how he has to go to school there?
Oh yeah,
they should be more concerned with training.
That's why he said what he said.
Than school. Because it's like, it's a zombie apocalypse. How is math going to help you, honestly? Besides basic math to count the zombies.
And that's why I love what Carl said, because
he had a moment of wisdom.
Yes, because I used to hate Carl's character. Like, I used to despise him.
I didn't hate him.
This little shit. I used to, because I thought he was very annoying, and he would always pop up at the mouth, and I was just like, I'm not here for it. So when he said that, he said, okay, Rick came in and asked Carl something. He was like, Dad, how do you like this place? And he was like, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I'm trying to do the Rick accent. And then he was like, I like it too, but these people are weak, and I don't want us to get weak. And I was just like, oh shit, Carl.
Moment of wisdom.
Moment of wisdom. Carl growing up.
Yeah.
Carl growing up.
So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, he follows her.
Yeah, he follows her and he loses the trail, and then he somehow meets up with Rick,
his daddy.
And they have
coincidence.
They have a nice. I know, right? They have a nice father. Do you think she was leading them? Wait, I never thought about that. Do you think that she lost him on purpose to lead him because she knew Rick was out of the gate?
You never know. I don't think she was aware.
But do you think she did that so that she could fight? Because I have a feeling that she took the gun that was in the blender.
Yeah, we have to talk about how Rick went outside and then
he went to
go get his gun that he hid in little can thingy, but it wasn't there.
It was in a blender,
but it wasn't there.
And so the big question is, and I even saw this on the Facebook page for The Walking Dead, who took the gun. And I'm like, it's that girl. It's that girl. Some people think it's Morgan. I don't think it's Morgan because I have my predictions. We're gonna do our predictions soon. I don't think it's Morgan because Morgan, I don't think he's there yet. So
no, not yet. He can't be there yet. The journey is quite long, I think.
And he probably has to walk.
Imagine walking. Oh my god.
They went from Atlanta to they're in Virginia now.
Wait, what?
They're in Virginia. They're not in DC. They're outside of DC. Come on now. Know your geography. So, I'm starting to think she did that on purpose so that they could meet up with each other because she knew Rick was already out.
I don't think she was aware that he was following her.
So they have a nice father and son moment when they're killing these zombies.
You know, just normal bonding.
Yeah, I like that moment. And the walker that came out of nowhere from under the rug, they told me that he's in a group called Anthrax. I forgot his name, but he's in a music group, and that's probably why they focused on him a little bit. I would love to be a walker on this show.
They have a training school.
I don't need training. When I get up in the morning, that's how I walk. Do you think, would you sit 4 or 5 hours in a makeup chair?
Unless I'm getting paid really good.
Hey, 30,000, 5,000, I'll take it.
As long as
I just made up those numbers. So,
yeah, we don't know how much they get paid.
So, yeah, that girl working with the exiles, I don't care what nobody says. So, Aiden, Nicholas, Glenn, Noah, Tara, they go out. And as they're in the woods, Aiden admits that he's a douchebag. Because I said it before, I was like, ugh, I don't like this guy. He looked like a douchebag. And some girls were creaming in their pants over him.
Don't use that term again, please.
Okay, wetting their pants.
Don't use that term.
Okay, they
Just
were
say
turned
the girls.
on.
Don't even use that. You said the girls liked them.
You don't have to like somebody to think that he's...
They thought he was cute.
Yeah, that's oh my god, that's so genius.
Oh, I know, right? I just came up with it on the spot.
Oh,
innovation.
Poor me for trying to be so edgy. So, so I was like, who is this fake wannabe Adam Levine?
And he's like, this is how the group is run. You have to listen to me.
And I was like, dude,
please.
You've got them killed. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. So when they're walking in the woods, he says what we're all thinking, but he says it after we've said it in our head. And he's like, I know I'm a douchebag, and I'm ROTC, and you gotta listen to me. So this dummy. Dummy. So him and his dumb sidekick, Nicholas.
We all know who's the real leader and who's the sidekick by now.
We know who you're talking about. They decide that they're gonna tie up a walker because it killed their friend. And he's like, oh, Glenn's like, what are you doing that for?
Just kill the walker.
And he's just like, oh, because it killed our friend, and something about teaching the lesson, and it reminds us what we're up against. And I'm just like, dude, you have not been up against anything. The only thing you come across is your friends dying, and the walkers don't have any freaking feelings. So why don't you just kill them? So Glenn is like, what are you doing that for? So we get there to the scene, and the walker don't escaped. Yeah. And that walker was disgusting. Like, ugh.
Is that the same one? The same guy who played that walker is the same walker that killed Dale.
Yeah, so I was like,
they look the same.
I was looking at that walker. He sneaks up behind Aiden, and Aiden don't know what to do.
He's like,
like he's trying to get the walker, and I'm just like, dude, kill it. And he pushes the walker on Tara.
No, before that, remember he's holding
they're trying to chain it up.
He's holding the arms.
Yeah,
telling him to hit the walker and the arms break because it's decomposing.
Oh.
Remember his arms, the wrists. I remember that scene. The wrists fall off.
Oh yeah.
And so it goes towards Nicholas, Saint Nicholas, and
But he pushes the thing on Tara.
Yeah, he can't control, so he just pushes it on her.
And when she's trying to kill it, and she pulls the skin off the back, and I'm just like,
she's trying to get it off of her.
Is this really
and
necessary?
They're not even helping. They're just
I guess AMC just did that to show us that walker's really old and decomposing. It was so nasty. Thank God I wasn't eating, because I usually don't get grossed out easily, but no, that was nasty. So he almost got Tara killed. So thank God the next Karate Kid, Glenn, came up and he stabbed it in the head. And
then Aiden is like, I told you to listen to me.
What the hell? Like a crying
guys
baby.
Don't listen. You have to listen.
This dude really thinks he's the ish. He talking about, oh, I'm a ROTC.
So it doesn't mean anything.
Abraham was in the military too. I think Abraham should have been on that. So he could have killed Aiden. And Nick.
What is Eugene doing?
Probably
doing laundry.
Dead. He's probably cooking up some next science project or making up his next lie or something. I don't know. I don't know. So they get back to Alexandria, and Aiden is pissed off. His vagina is fuming because...
Don't use that term either.
Can I live? Can I say anything?
Nope.
So, blah, blah, blah. He's like, Mom, why do you let these people in here? And then Glenn's like, because we actually know what we're doing. And so he tries to take a cheap shot. He tried to catch Glenn off guard. When I tell you Glenn turned into Bruce Lee, Glenn turned into Jackie Chan, Glenn turned into, what's that, Jet Li? Them reflexes?
Really, but that's because they've been out so long.
Yeah,
so the whole group really has.
They
have
on
really
alert.
Good, yeah, they have really good reflexes. Even Judith.
Even Judith. Judith don't play. Judith let you know.
She has really good reflexes. Everyone does.
So Glenn ducks, and he
and
hits
then,
that dude right in the nose.
The bromance comes right in.
So Nicholas he gonna try to bum rush Glenn, and then Daryl got him. I was like, yes, we were so hyped in our front.
We were like, yes.
We were so hyped.
The bromance is real. And they protect their own. It's
like
that's how you do it.
Yeah, I was like, Daryl got his back. Everybody got each other's back. That's what I like.
And so, like, Deanna's like, what's going on? And then Rick comes through the gate or he's already through the gate with Coral or something like Coral, as he is known as.
Yeah, but Daryl, before Aiden threw his little girly punch, and I'm a girl, but whatever. Before he did that, you could see Daryl walking up because he knew something was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you saw Eugene there too, and I'm just like, what are you gonna do?
I know.
You can't even fight a walker.
He'll talk the person to death using big scientific words.
On the third day, on the next day, I talked about something. I discovered a volcano. I discovered this, and there's a Kieran Washington. I hate how he talks.
Yes.
I really hate it. So after all that scuffle, Deanna's like, you two go over there. I'm gonna go talk to you. And then she finally gives Rick and Michonne a job. Are they getting paid money?
No.
Well, then what's the point?
I think it's something to do with food.
That'd be nice, but that's slavery.
If you have a choice, then.
I know, I'm just playing. So Deanna, she gives Rick a job. What did she say? What's the word? Concubine? Something like that. Basically police. So she gives Rick a job, and she gives Michonne the same job. So I wonder if Michonne is gonna wear her cop outfit, a black woman wearing a cop. Let me just be quiet. So
yes, please.
Yeah, I'm getting into offending territory. So I was just like, yay, Rick finally has a job. He's been unemployed for like 2 years now, 2-3 years.
The economy is truly going up.
Yeah.
That was sarcasm, if you can't tell.
So Rick, he come down the stairs, and it's like, I'm having flashbacks to Atlanta Rick when he was in Atlanta riding on the horse. I'm just having first season.
You're still mad about that, the fact he got the horse killed.
Yes, I'm still pissed.
That horse was quite
pressed
cute.
Since 2010. People are pressed.
And I don't like horses, but that horse was cute.
It looked like any other horse you're scared of.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So this is another important thing I found in the episode. At the end, they decided to replay the clip back when Rick was talking about, in the beginning, he told her, you can't let just anybody in here. People are gonna come and try to take advantage. And it was kind of eerie because it was like, is he talking about them? Mm-hmm. Like, part of me feels like he's talking about them. Like, he was just basically warning her. Maybe she'll pick up on it. We'll see. I cannot wait for the next episode. It's only 2 days away. But I just found that whole thing eerie. Like, I don't know. I just found the whole thing, like, he was basically a prophet. Prophet Rick.
Prophet Rick.
So, this is the last scene of the episode. Oh my God.
I love this scene.
You loved it too. It gave me goosebumps.
Daryl has yet to shower.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to shower. But everybody's still in their house, and
I like how they all sleep in the same house.
But he told them, he said, I think it's cool. We can sleep in different houses now.
I still wouldn't do it, though.
Yeah, me neither. So, Rick, he goes outside, and Daryl's there smoking a cigarette. I don't know how Daryl has cigarettes still in the zombie apocalypse. Maybe he got it from Alexandria again. I don't know. But all I know is that Daryl has an addiction problem.
Yep.
And it's cigarettes. But, in real life, the actor smokes. So, he probably can't go without his nicotine on the set.
So he's sitting on like a bench or something. on a chair outside on a porch.
Yeah, he's sitting on the porch, and Rick comes out and he's like, blah 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 blah. No, no, he's like, yeah, I think we can start sleeping in our own beds and houses
and everything.
And Carol comes out, and he comes out. I cannot remember what happened, but he said we got to make this place work, something like that. And then Daryl was like, I don't know if it was Rick or Daryl, but I think Rick said, and if they don't, we'll just take this place over.
When Carol comes out.
I just said that.
Oh, I didn't hear
when
you.
Oh yeah, when Carol came out, she was like, I like this place, but it can make us weak. And so he was like, Carl said that. He was like, Carl said the same thing. And so I guess that was to reaffirm Rick, the writers. That was their way of like
saying that Rick is not
reminding him again that
he's not weak.
It's not good to let your guard down. So he was just like, we'll just take this place.
He was like, he said something about, he said the people are too weak to survive. Don't worry, we'll just take the place. And then they're all smiling at the end, just like chilling on the porch. And
actually, like, Carol wasn't smiling. She just had this look on her face. She was just like, oh, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Like,
why are you talking like that?
And Daryl was the one that had the smirk on his face when he was smoking his cigarette. But that gave me goosebumps. I cannot wait.
Favorite scene?
When Daryl was cleaning the raccoon.
Oh, I said that was my favorite scene.
Oh,
I didn't ask.
My favorite scene was the ending. It summed up everything in a nice little bow. But it was a lot of good scenes in this. My favorite scene was the shower scene when Rick was in the shower and you can see his pale butt. No, I'm just playing. I don't like Rick like that. I don't like him like that.
Then stop
a
talking
lot of
about
girls
him like that.
Do, and then my Twitter lit up when he shaved. They're like, oh my god, he's so hot, and people are like, oh, I forgot how he looked, and now we get to see his face again. I was just like, yeah. I mean, he's not bad looking.
Anyway, let's move on.
So your favorite scene was when he was cleaning the raccoon and Carol came out.
No, that's your favorite scene.
What is your
My favorite scene? But I just said, if you were listening, I said the ending when he said we'll take it.
That's
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What
are you talking about?
My gosh.
Okay, so what are your predictions for the next episode?
I think we shall see them in their roles. With Eugene doing the laundry. I think that something's gonna happen with the girl.
What girl?
The girl.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Enid.
It's just such a weird, like...
Yeah, it's an ugly name.
It's not ugly.
It is ugly.
It's not ugly.
It is ugly.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Your opinions do not matter. Anyway.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Not really.
Go.
I think something's gonna go down with her. I think something's gonna happen with, what's his name? Aiden? Or something like that. I think he's gonna try to, like, sabotage. Mm-hmm. Probably. And I think Daryl should finally take a shower.
Okay, this is my prediction. Did you see the trailer for the next episode?
I saw it. I don't remember. It was like last week.
People going crazy because they think Aaron shot.
Oh yeah, Aaron. Oh yeah, there you go.
First of all, I think I still think Hillary Clinton is keeping an eye on everybody. Deanna. And I say that because Hillary is a strong female woman and she's in charge. And Deanna is in charge. But I think Aiden is going to have this attitude towards Glenn. Like, he going to try to get Glenn.
Try to sabotage.
Nicholas mad that he got pounced to the ground by a dirty backwoods hood rat hillbilly named Daryl Dixon. Hopefully Daryl takes a shower, but I don't think he's taking a shower yet. Like, the previews, he still looks the same. I'm pissed. A lot of other girls, they want a Daryl shower soon. I don't want that. I just want him to shower.
Let's move along.
So, I also think, we're going to find out a little bit more about that girl.
Yeah.
Enid.
And who took Rick's gun?
Yeah. We're gonna find that out too. I personally cannot wait until the season finale, because the season finale is going to be 90 minutes long, and you know something is about to go down. They have not given us a 90-minute episode of this series since season 2 premiere, and that was back in 2011, I believe. And that stuff went down. That's the episode when Sophia went missing and the zombie herd came on the highway and she was under the car. Remember? They told me. So I personally, I cannot wait for the season finale, and I just can't wait to see how Daryl hopefully
interacts with like the people. I can't wait to see them actually like interacting with more people.
Hopefully my prediction that I have is wrong, because I have a feeling that Daryl might leave the group. Like, he might get exiled if he can't get along.
I think he needs some time getting used to. And I don't think she expects him to be completely okay with it, so she knows.
And the actor, Norman Reedus, he was on some talk show. I can't remember. I think it was Conan the other day. And he was like, get your tissues ready. And I'm just like, another death again? You know it's like somebody dying. It better not be him, though. I'm telling you right now, it better not be Daryl. I think Morgan is going to show up in the season finale, too.
I'm back.
Thought you seen the last of me.
I know,
but
right?
You didn't. So yeah, that's
surprise.
Tell us what you guys think. We really enjoyed this episode, and I don't know. I think these episodes have been really good, and The Walking Dead is awesome, and it's a great show.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just want to see more of the town people.
Yeah, we're gonna,
because I feel like they're ignorant in a sort of like the sense that they feel like they have security, but they really don't.
That's why Rick should take it over. Like he said, you need to take that over. But I can't wait. So
what if like a zombie herd comes through?
Which I think that's gonna happen.
The people they don't know what to do.
I think it's gonna happen. But let us know. Leave us comments. You guys have a great day.
You too. Why did I say you too? I don't even know. Bye, guys.